All right, in this video, we're going to see a state hearing on redistricting completely spiraled into chaos when one Republican pushed the committee chair past her breaking point. We're about to show you the exact moment the gavel came down, not with a bang, but with a brutal command to just close your mouth. Let's watch the full clip, and then I'll give you my thoughts at the end.
At all. Some of my technical questions, too. The lawyer that is here. So you have gone through the bill, right? You have read the language. It probably took you got through it a lot faster than I did, I assume. Can I ask you who is, and actually we're going to become really good friends. I hope you know that. Because who is
Excuse me,
your
I'm sorry,
retainer?
Madam Chair. The Assembly member seems to be making veiled threats to my witness, which I don't appreciate. Well, I don't know why he's talking about becoming really good friends. Let's just ask some questions and get some answers.
If we could definitely stick to just
I appreciate
asking the questions
Yes.
through the chair. Thank
Well,
you.
Because he is here to answer the legal questions.
Doesn't mean he's going to be your friend.
Okay.
Madam
That's
Chair,
fine.
are we gonna allow my colleague to ask questions, or is this gonna be drown out even
But
longer?
I
by
just would like
interruptions?
to
Kind of
know.
like you did to start the hearing.
It's kind of going back and forth there. Let's have one person speak at a time.
Mr. Berman, I ask that you just
Assemblymember
respect us to
Tangipa,
ask these
please
questions.
ask your question
All right.
to the witness.
As long as you don't make veiled threats to my witnesses, that's no
A
problem at
threat
all.
to be a friend.
Okay, let's just let Assemblymember Tangipa ask his question, please.
Well, who is funding the retainer for you to be here, and how long have you seen the language in this bill? When did you first get it? And when did you start seeing it? Because I did not get it till yesterday. So how much time did you have to review this?
Mr. Tangipa, I'm here to answer technical questions about how the bill works. I'm not here to reveal attorney-client privileged information about the representation I provide or anything that went into the work product. I can answer questions about the face of the measure.
Well, I just, for me, since it takes me so long to read, I just wanted to know how long you had to read it. And if you, as a representative
Let's stick to
here,
the merits of the bill. Let's ask questions about.
This is a merit. This is back.
This is
for
not the merits. I
How
don't know
long
why
it
there's
takes
a debate.
somebody to read a
When we
bill
introduce
is not.
bills, we consult with people before we introduce those bills. This isn't a foreign concept. This isn't a lack of transparency.
So you
this
admit
is
that you have-
Assemblymember Tangipa, if you have a question about the merits of the bill, please ask it.
Okay. Then we'll go into even more of the merits. So under the new redistricting proposal, and a lot of these, and the main reason why I'm asking for so much time is because the questions that I prepped yesterday when I saw this all changed because the maps changed at 8 p.m. last night. And I think that it's well within the process to say, I should know. The maps changed at 8 o'clock, at 8 p.m. last night.
The maps were released on Friday, I believe, and they have not changed.
They changed per the census tract. Madam Chair, the fact that you don't know that should cause worry to everybody.
I'm sorry, 8 a.m. yesterday. Sorry,
No,
not
they
8 p.m.
changed-
8
they
a.m.
changed
yesterday.
At 8 p.m. last night. There was a change at 8
My
p.m.
understanding it was 8 a.m., but
I am eager to hear
regardless,
your questions
what
in
is your
regards to whatever
question
changes
to the
there were
merit
to
of the bill?
maps.
Okay, well, then Clovis would be split into 3 different congressional districts. Not anymore, because the last change that I got as of 2 hours ago on the new maps, now they are kept into 1 district. Can you explain the rationale for splitting up Clovis residents, thus weakening their voice?
I think that would be a better question for the authors of the bill that actually has to do with the maps.
Well,
my bill has to do with putting, or the speaker's bill, constitutional amendment has to do with giving voters the opportunity to have their voices heard, and whether or not we will have a special election on November 4th. So I am not prepared to speak to the specific iterations of the maps, but I believe somebody will be presenting that bill after this ACA, who hopefully will be better prepared to discuss individual line drawing of communities.
Well, the maps are pertinent to this ACA because
But the
they're all
ACA
synonymous.
is to give voters the voice and an opportunity to have their voices heard on whether or not they want to have a mid-decade redistricting.
Can you speak to the cost of the ACA and how much it's going to cost the taxpayers of California then?
About the same as the recall that
how much is
Republicans
that?
put forward.
How much is that?
I believe
Well, wait,
it's...
but that recall was done by the Citizens Initiative. It wasn't done by this body.
Fundamentally,
there's a difference.
The answer remains the same, that it's the same cost. Your question was, what's the cost? And I said it's the same as the recall.
Well,
Doesn't
how
matter
could you
who
say
put it
it's
on
the
the
same
ballot.
of
I'm
the
just saying the
recall
answer.
since 2021 or 2021 to where we're at now? We've seen 40% inflation rates. So is it 40% more?
Well, I
Do
mean,
you
with the
understand
tariffs that Trump just put into effect, it's probably more than 40% inflation rates. But I believe the cost of the special
Mr.
election
Berman, I'd
is
ask you to speak to the
approximately
merits
$200
of the
million.
question that I asked. Just how much
Just
does
did
it
that, Mr.
cost?
Tangipa.
Mr.
Just did
Tangipa,
that.
excuse
Just
me.
happened.
Can you just let him answer the question? He's doing so. Just
Did you
close
miss-
your
I
mouth,
just-
open your
I just
ears,
said I
listen
believe
to
it's
him for a second,
approximately
please.
$200 million.
We all need to listen to each other. So when someone else is speaking,
So
let's
wait,
have
why do
one
I have
speaker
to
at a
close my
time.
mouth when somebody else
I'm just saying,
interrupts me?
no, I'm saying
Do
it to
you not
both of
find
you.
that-
I'm going to say that to both of you. Please refrain from speaking when the other person is speaking.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Ask the question. How
Can you
much
repeat the
does this
question?
cost? Is there a actual fiscal analysis on how much this will cost the state of California in its current 2025, 2026 cost, not to the 2021? You can't.
Well, I think the
that doesn't
recall
even
was
make sense.
approximately $200 million, so this will be over $200 million.
Okay.
I think somewhere between $200 and $250 million.
Okay, and so with a rolling and looming $20 billion deficit predicted by the LAO all the way until 2028, you believe that it's within the right of the state of California and this legislative body, not the people who put it on the initiative. When it came to the recall election, that was done through a citizens initiative. Nobody here did that. This is being done by us. The legislators here, hang on.
By all means,
So-
please, I'll let you pontificate as long as you want.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. Do you believe that 200, and we can adjust costs for inflation, $300 million is what a state in a massive deficit and a rolling deficit year over year predicted by the LAO is what this state should be spending money on?
Can I answer?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Tangipa.
Thank you.
So, absolutely. And the reason for that is because the damage that this Republican Congress has done to the state of California makes $250 million looks like couch cushion change. One of my communities that I represent, Santa Clara County, is going to voters to the ballot to try to recoup some of the over $1 billion just to the county of Santa Clara, to their health system, because of Trump's big, beautiful bill and the decimation that is having, that all 9 Republican members of California's congressional delegation voted on, like a bunch of feckless followers. No matter the damage that is doing to their communities, the billions of dollars that the Republican Congress is taking away, and the cost that's having for Californians and California taxpayers. And so if that's just Santa Clara County, 2 million people, and it's an over $1 billion hit that their healthcare system is taking, that the poorest residents of Santa Clara County rely on just to get their basic health care, over $1 billion. Imagine the cost that this Republican Congress is costing the entire state of California. So do I think that we should spend $200 million for the opportunity to avoid billions of dollars in Republican hits to our budget? I absolutely do, and I'm curious to see if voters will agree with me.
Thank you.
So let's call that what it was. That was sabotage. What we all just witnessed is the modern Republican strategy in a nutshell. If you can't win the game, you just break the board so no one can play. It's a deliberate performance, kind of designed to make the basic functions of democracy so toxic and exhausting that everyone, especially the public, just gives up. It's an exercise in cynical performance art. The entire goal is to grind the gears of government to a halt, and like every single action is geared towards that purpose. The whole spectacle is about one thing: proving that the system is broken by being the one to personally break it. That's the mission, and honestly, it's profoundly anti-democratic. That initial interaction with the witness, that's a perfect example of this. Beneath the clumsy attempt at intimidation is a clear goal: poisoning the entire atmosphere right from the start. It's a way of signaling to his base, that he doesn't respect the process. He's establishing an us versus them dynamic with an expert witness, someone who represents what, facts, and legal nuance. And that's because, expertise itself is the enemy of this entire political movement, isn't it? The goal is to create a world where there are no objective facts, only competing political teams. So of course, the first move is to try and delegitimize the person who came armed with information. You have to create a hostile environment for knowledge before it can even be presented. Then there's the whole spectacle of his supposed confusion. This is what I'd call weaponized incompetence. It's an incredibly potent tool for hijacking the agenda. Suddenly, a hearing about the fundamental voting rights of millions of people becomes like a therapy session for one man's inability to read his emails on time. He successfully makes himself and his manufactured drama the central issue. The fact that he couldn't even keep his own story straight about the timeline is the tell, isn't it? I mean, that proves that the grievance itself is completely fabricated. He doesn't actually care if the maps were changed at 8 p.m. or 8 a.m. because the complaint was never made in good faith, you know? The entire point is simply to muddy the waters and scream about transparency while being the single most opaque person in the room. Frankly, it's a profound display of contempt for the public's time and money. We pay for these hearings. We literally pay these people's salaries. And he has the audacity to turn a vital public forum into his own personal playground for obstruction. It's a spit in the face of every citizen he's supposed to be there working for. His panic when his colleague actually starts winning the argument is so revealing. He can't handle the facts about the fiscal damage his own party has caused. So he resorts to the only tool he has left, just making noise. That interruption was a calculated move, an emergency eject button on a losing debate. It's a desperate act of self-preservation. And maybe I'm wrong, but I see the chair's reaction as a necessary act of institutional self-defense. When one person decides to completely shatter the foundations of civil discourse, what other tool is left, right? Her response was a last-ditch effort by the system itself to restore a semblance of order in the face of someone committed to anarchy. You could, I suppose, even argue that he was trying to provoke that exact reaction. The business model for this kind of politics is to create a fire and then play the victim for getting burned. He creates an intolerable situation, forces a confrontation, and then gets a clip he can use to cry about how the mean old establishment is trying to silence him. It's a deeply cynical and very effective feedback loop. That final indignant no, that's the whole game. It's the mask slipping off entirely. It reveals the core belief of this movement, that rules, decorum, and basic respect are only for the other side. It's the toddler's worldview, the universe exists only to serve my immediate needs. And any boundary, any rule is a deep and personal injustice. Ultimately, I think, this is so much bigger than one guy in a state hearing. This is a perfect microcosm of the anti-governance rot that has consumed the GOP. They've moved beyond wanting to govern differently and have landed on the belief that their primary mission is to prove that that it cannot work. And the easiest way to prove that, it turns out, is to be the one who breaks it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. While you're down there, hit the like button and subscribe. I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you in the next one.